All right, guys. So today we're here with Tom Casano. He's been with us for what is it now? Like a little over a year,
Yeah, it was about last May, so pretty much a year.
coming up on a year now. Um, and I asked him here today to just kind of talk to you guys about the experience that he's had with the program, give you some insight as to why he started, what it's been like for him, and things like that. So, Tom, if you could start with kind of where you were at before you came into the program, and kind of what are some things that maybe you were struggling with at that time.
Sure. So last May, I had just come off one like a minor injury and just a really busy time in my life, from having a second baby to my wife needing a lot more help around the house with the two kids, and I just wasn't able to work out. The time wasn't there for me and my family, so it's probably on, I'd say, about 4 or 5 months easily of like completely not working out. And for me, it's always all or nothing. So diet is very difficult for me when I'm not exercising. Um, so it's kind of coming from a zero ground. Like I literally needed to build up from the beginning again because I had started from nowhere. Had gained all my weight back and etc. Like most people have gone through.
So, like coming from those kind of struggles and whatnot, what kind of prompted you to make a change?
Well, I've always been exercising my entire life into sports and weightlifting and all that stuff. So I knew I was going to get back into it again. But to make the serious changes, I needed to find that balance. Like I said, it was always all or nothing. I either worked out and ate great, and I would run myself into kind of a wall where it was so strict that you would burn yourself out, or I would eat like crazy and not exercise at all after that, and I would go back down to zero and have to build back up
Yeah,
again. So looking for that balance, pretty much.
it's what we hear a lot. And people often kind of fall into that same category, that all or nothing. So it totally makes sense. Um, so, kind of with that in mind, what are some of the steps that you've implemented when you came into the program so you could really kind of get the ball rolling and get over some of those challenges that you were having beforehand?
Um, I- would say first off would be just consistency. Not trying to go 150%, not trying to go 50%, getting myself in that middle ground where I was enjoying it. I was enjoying eating, but as well being healthy at the same time. And just allowing myself to take the steps in the right direction. It's going to be a process. It's not going to happen overnight. And just slowly move into where I felt comfortable with my diet and my exercise, where I can keep going for a long period of time.
So you got that balance essentially.
Definitely now. Yeah, definitely now. I think that was one of the biggest things. I got myself to the point where I don't feel like I'm dieting. I watch what I eat, but I'm happy with where I'm at.
So that was one of the biggest things. What would you say are some of the other things, some of the bigger skills that you were able to kind of learn in the program, things that maybe you didn't know beforehand as far as implementing these kinds of strategies?
Like diet wise or exercise wise.
A little bit of both, I guess. More focused on the nutrition because I think, like you said, you were really into the exercise for a long time. I think probably for you, our biggest change was focused on the nutrition side of things.
Yeah. I'd say, trying to, how could I find the right words? Before I looked at it as like you kind of had to eat extremely healthy. Like you had to do a cheat day once a week, or that meal once a week was like that was your given thing you could have, and everything else had to be extremely healthy. I've learned there's ways to move my diet around where I could eat things that are tasty, things that are good, things that most would consider a cheat, but I've filtered it into my workouts in a way that it's really not cheating. I'm actually eating the foods that are required for the workouts that I'm doing.
Right.
Especially with the amount of running and biking that I do, you could eat a lot more certain foods around those exercises that most would be like, oh, you can't eat that. That's horrible. I'm on a diet. You can't eat that. And I'm eating it 3, 4 times a week and feeling good.
So it's a bit of a shock for your family and friends too to see the way that you eat, but have the results that you've had.
Oh yeah, when my wife sees me eat a bagel all the time, she's not too happy about how she's a little bit more low carb, and I'm eating bagels 4 times a week before runs.
Yeah, I totally get that. So with that, like obviously, now you have the balance, you have the flexibility, but a lot of this for you was centered around getting very specific results because of your particular goals with some of the events that you have coming up. So what were some of the biggest results that you've had? Were they more on the mental aspect of kind of what you could eat, or on the physical aspect, or a little bit of both?
I'd say a little bit of both. On the mental aspect, I wasn't worried as much on a daily basis of specific things I was eating. So it's something I didn't have to focus on as much and worry about. On the physical aspect, definitely soreness and recovery I've found to be big and helpful with my diet. Been able to increase how much I've eaten over the time and keep the same exact results, not gain weight, etc. So that was the biggest thing. I think recovery I've noticed overwhelmingly.
Yeah.
Because the stuff I do, you definitely need to eat a lot, but you gotta eat the right things and make sure you're not overdoing it.
So you're able to fuel yourself for performance, but you've also lost quite a bit of weight with us, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm down roughly, 45 pounds to 50 pounds, give or take.
It's insane. It's like half a human.
It's and to think I've increased the amount of food I've eaten while I've been losing this weight and not dropped it, it's pretty awesome. I mean, to eat more and keep my weight is great.
What about outside of the performance aspect, just kind of day-to-day life? Because, a lot of the people that we work with, they don't necessarily have the same goals as you on a performance level. Have you noticed some carryover into day-to-day life?
And what aspects specifically?
Energy throughout the day, running around with the kids, digestion, the way that your joints feel just from not carrying as much weight.
Definitely those two. So digestion, I had big digestion issues before this. Not anymore. I've been able to, tracking my food has helped me figure out what works with my stomach and what doesn't, without having to go to the doctor or anything like that. Kind of just naturally figured it out.
Yeah.
Energy. I mean, I kind of don't sleep much, and I still have full energy. Sleep is definitely something I need to work on. But I always feel fueled. I always feel ready for workouts in that aspect.
Crashes.
No, I mean, every so often it hits you. Every few weeks, you're all right. Time to tone it down, take a day off, and your body needs the rest.
What it really sounds like, and what's awesome, is to hear how much you've learned about yourself and what your body needs. So you're able to take control of your goals, kind of move yourself forward, know when to adjust and things like that. So that's really cool thing, I think, for people to see, is how much you actually gain as far as an education goes. So
yeah, I couldn't take what I eat and what I do specifically and hand it off to someone and be like, yeah, do this. This is going to work.
Right.
Because it's not. You need to take it and figure it out for yourself and kind of use yourself as your own case study and learn how it works.
Helped you learn how to do that?
Oh, definitely. I think this has definitely pushed me in that direction.
So then what would you say to somebody who's kind of like debating whether or not they should jump in, kind of take that leap of faith?
Well, I mean, if you're debating it, you've already taken your first step towards wanting to do it. So, one, what's the worst that could happen? You give it a shot, see how it works for you, see if it's the right path that you should take. And if you do make the decision, just be a little patient. It's not going to be on Monday you start and Saturday you're going to be ready to go to the beach. You want to allow your body takes a while to adjust to certain things and give it a little time and just keep being consistent. That's the thing I found, that as long as I'm consistent, I could stray away a little bit every so often, and it doesn't hurt you as much as you think it does. That day off isn't going to affect you. That one cheeseburger isn't going to ruin your entire diet on a Saturday night. Just be relaxed. Let it come.
That's awesome. I like the way you put that initially, is, if you're debating it, you've kind of taken the first step. It's really cool to see how far the mindset has come as far as how to approach it, how to have that balance, which is going back to one of the first things that you mentioned that you wanted, and being able to enjoy life as it comes at us, still being able to hit your goals, performance-wise, life-wise, all of that kind of working together to get you where you want to be. So that's a good point, man. I know sometimes it can kind of be scary for the brain to trust the process, like if you've had a bad experience in the past or if you haven't even been there before. But obviously, you know, with you, you really understand the benefit of being able to invest in yourself and being able to kind of speed up the process. Even though it takes some time to get there, it's better than kind of, you know, throwing your money at other quick fixes that don't necessarily teach you that balance or that flexibility. So I
Yeah, you
totally,
want to learn from it as much as you want results from it. Learning
exactly.
is part of the process.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you 100%. So, um, with everything you've said, really. So I appreciate you taking the time today to share, you know, kind of your experience with everybody.
My pleasure.
You know, once again, guys, this is Tom's story, and obviously there's a lot more to it that goes on behind the scenes, but this is just a little kind of snippet of the experience that he's had. Um, but that's all we've got for you today. So thanks again, and we'll catch you later, guys.
See you later, guys.